Travel with me.
Hey fellow humans, Mina here. Last week I did the whole author newbie tag thing. Hope you all got to enjoy to learn a little bit more about me, the author. I figured I'd extend that a little bit by talking about books. I mean, if you're a writer, you obviously like reading books, right? And if you're here on this channel right now, you probably also like books, hopefully. Anyway, so all this means that I'm gonna be doing the book tag thing. Number 1, a book you probably should have DNF'd. Or did not finish, for those who don't know. I'm gonna say the clear winner is this weird sex book, Lady Chatterley's Lover by D.H. Lawrence. This book exemplifies every single thing that you really shouldn't be doing when publishing a book. And I know that times were different in like the 1920s or whenever this book was published, but like honestly, it's all tell, no show. The first time there was a sex scene in here, I honestly didn't know there was a sex scene until like a few pages later, and I was like, oh wait, that was it? That's what's so scandalous about this book? Because apparently there was so much sex in here when it was first written that people, by the time they got to chapter 6, they were like, oh my god, and then just like, they DNF'd, But like, I read it and it wasn't that scandalous. Maybe it's because I'm not from that time and I just honestly don't see that as that scandalous. Although she did cheat on her husband, so there's that. Please don't cheat on people. If you don't want to be faithful, please break up with the person you're going out with. That's a side brain for another time. But yeah, like I said, this book is all tell, no show. There is huge exposition dumps in like almost every chapter. It's just a boring pace, a boring plot, if there's anything. She's essentially trying to figure out how to dump her husband and go with a lover. But yeah, the only reason I have this book is because I bought a bunch of books off of someone who was moving at one time, and I only wanted like the one book, but like it was like a package deal with buy all these books for this really great price, and I was like, well, that one book that I want is less, the price that you're offering makes it so cheap, so I just bought all the books with it, and I need to read every book that I physically own, so I read it, and I did not enjoy it. Number 2, most books you've read without finishing the series. I don't actually own any of these here physically, but when I was younger I had like a shit ton of them. But Dragonlance series. The reason why I read a lot of books, because I read a lot of those books and they are all hella awesome. I do recommend. And the reason why I didn't finish them is because there's so many of them. By like multiple different authors, but like there's so many. So many. I ain't spending all that money. Not right now anyway. So yeah, if I were to ever get back into reading them, I don't even remember where I left off because I read a lot. And I'm sure there's more now, but it was a really good series. Do recommend if you have the chance. Do Google search to figure out where to start is, because there's a lot of them. Number 3, a hyped author you just can't get along with. First of all, this question is phrased like I actually know the person. I do not. However, a hyped author I am not all about reading their books is the After series. I pretty much know what goes on in the entire books, not because I've watched the movies or anything, because I haven't, but because I watched a lot of my favorite YouTubers do commentary videos on them, and I essentially know what happens in every single book. And boy, it's problematic, and I'm just not about that. Number 4, a genre you rarely read from. Historical. That book I mentioned in the first one, I kind of count that as historical fiction. I don't like Western stuff or historical fiction generally. I mean, if it's a book that someone gave to me, I'm gonna read it. I'll probably not like it, but I'll read the entire thing and I probably won't like it. Like what happened with the first one, point number 1. But yeah, those are the genres I don't really care for. Otherwise than that, usually fair game. Number 5, the most elusive book or edition you can't get your hands on. I don't really know of any books with special editions that I can't get my hands on. So I'm going to switch this up to a book that had a great cover at the start and a shitty cover now. I really love The Hunger Games, and they had great covers. I was actually into them way before they were going to be a movie. Hipster. And I was like, oh my god, they should be a movie. And then like I finished the books and they're like, we're gonna make it into a movie. And I'm like, dope. Anyway, point is, they had great covers. And they still had some great covers, even the movie covers. But now I've seen them re-released to these neon-looking bastard things. Hey, ugly! Totally doesn't show the tone of the books at all. Like, what were they thinking? Number 6, a book or author who keeps getting recommended to you, but you know you want to enjoy. Honestly, people don't recommend me books that they know I want to enjoy, so I don't really have an answer to this one. If they're going to recommend me books, they usually recommend books to me that they know I will enjoy, and I usually do. Number 7, a book that has a better, different cover in a different language. Living in Korea, I actually do see English books published in Korean at bookstores, and I actually have a Harry Potter Cursed Child novel here for reading, learning purposes. Well, one, because I've bought the English one before for fun purposes. Kind of a shitty story, but still. And the Korean version for learning purposes, but you know what? The same cover. Most of the covers I've seen in bookstores are generally what you get abroad, just with, you know, Korean on them. So, I don't know how to answer this one. Sorry. Number 8, a book you've only seen the movie or TV adaptation for. Ready Player One. Number 9, a book that you wouldn't watch if it got adapted. Honestly, if it's a book I really love that I read, which is generally all the time, I would probably watch the shit out of it, regardless, just to see if they did it justice. But if we're gonna need an answer, that book from the start again. Number 10, a series that shouldn't have continued. I'm gonna rehash another answer, once again, the After series, because Hardin is problematic AF. He is not a good character, nor he has any redeeming qualities, just from all the YouTube videos that I've seen about it, and, you know, the quick things that I read online. Yeah, no, not a good role model. Not a good role model, people. Please don't be like him. Heck, even Tessa is a dickwad for cheating on her boyfriend. Isn't it? No, I don't condone cheating. Yeah. Number 11. A trope that puts you off picking up a book. Probably books where the girl is the only thing that makes the guy better, even though he's a dickwad in every other way. But she's different, you know? She is the one who can save him from all the badness that he's doing. A good example is kind of 50 Shades of Grey. I sort of read half of it for fun online for free at one point before the free version got removed. But yeah, Christian was a dick, and he was less dickish to Anna just because, I don't know, yeah. Write better, guys! Anywho, that's all I gotta say for now. If you want to keep hearing more about South, be sure to follow me on all your favorite socials. Links below. Stay safe and take care. Bye!
So I thought I heard a noise earlier. What are you doing in there? Love you, Sorren.